Welcome back. We're answering your emails and voicemails as we give you a shot to play with the panel. Still with us, Rachel Maddow, Harold Ford Jr., Chuck Todd, and Pat Buchanan. First up, Tina in Illinois has a bone to pick with the pundits. Let's take a listen.
I'm watching Meet the Press this last Sunday. Everybody's talking about how Obama supporters will not go to Clinton, but that the Clinton supporters would go for Obama. I'm a Clinton supporter. I would not vote for Obama.
This is actually a real issue, right, Pat? I mean, we have actually seen polls that show that Clinton supporters would not support Obama in Pennsylvania.
I think that's right, and I think the nastier the campaign gets, the more this is true. I've had a number of women come up to me at airports and various places saying, you know, I'm for Hillary, Mr. Buchanan, but if she doesn't make it, I'm voting for your guy. They obviously think McCain is my guy. So, but I mean, I really think the longer this goes on, the harder this is going to get. I think both their candidates, I think Barack's people, a lot of them will stay home if he loses. All that energy and fire will be gone. And many of hers will go with McCain. That's why I think there's still a long shot for a Hillary-Obama ticket.
Wow. All right. Next up, Leanne in Virginia doesn't buy that Hillary Clinton's comments about her 1996 trip to Bosnia were merely a slip of the tongue. Listen.
Hillary Clinton lied. That's it. She did not misspeak or trip up on a statement regarding Bosnia. She lied. She's made that comment more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times. And now that she's being caught on it, she says that she misspoke. No, she lied.
I think we belabored this, but Chuck Todd, remind me, I think she spoke about this. What did it actually say in her book about this? It talked about getting warnings of sniper fire in the hills, right?
Well, no, in the book, the account, nobody is disputing that account. And, you know, had she stuck to what she wrote in the book, she'd have been just fine. But, you know, those last 2 callers, David, tell you everything you need to know about the bitterness of this Democratic primary. That first woman sounded like somebody that would not vote for Obama. And that second woman sounded like that is not going to vote for Hillary Clinton. That's the real problem going on.
Right, right. And a viewer from Hawaii thinks maybe James Carville or all people can help him find the way to Jesus. Listen.
Regarding Carville's painting Bill Richardson as a Judas, my question is, who is Jesus, Hillary or Bill?
It's actually an interesting point here, Rachel, because in many ways it seems to me the argument was this is a betrayal of everything the Clintons have meant to you in your political life.
Yeah, you know,
one
of the great side details on this is that Bill Richardson wouldn't return Bill Clinton's phone calls for days around the time of that endorsement, which made me think like, oh, Richardson's more of a wuss than I thought he was. I didn't realize that was going to go that way. But I think that kind of makes Bill Jesus, but I'm uncomfortable with that.
But you know, Harold, this question
don't call a bearded
about
man a wuss. I tell you that. You got to be careful.
What about Harold, the damage in the party, though, and the bitterness that Chuck just talked about? Rachel said earlier in the program, the longer this goes on, the harder it is to bring the party back together. As somebody who's within the party and as a former elected official, are you not amazed that in such a strong year on paper for the Democrats, you see this going on?
Both of these candidates view this as a unique chance to win the presidency, so there will be an intense and at times acrimonious and ugly race. But I would remind voters in 2000, when George Bush said those awful things about John McCain. John McCain rallied right behind George Bush and helped him win. In 1980, when Reagan and Bush had that awful primary, and the first George Bush referred to Ronald Reagan's economic plan as voodoo economics, they figured out a way to get together. Not only got together, but ran together. I think a lot of the concern right now is understandable, but I think as you get closer and closer to the summer and we have a nominee, it'll be very clear to people. John McCain represents a 3rd term for George Bush, and either Hillary or Barack represent change. That will be the narrative of this campaign. I think the last 2 callers, as heated as they are, and I understand it, as passionate as they are about their candidates, I think they will find their way right
Here's
back
what
to the
I think is
Democratic
different.
column.
I think this has gotten to be a very personal campaign. And whether it's about race, whether it's about gender, whether it's just about personality or this vague idea of who's most prepared, I think it's gotten away from issues. It's gotten more to being in the sphere of a movement within the Democratic Party.
David,
and it's brought out a great deal of passion.
You covered 2000, the awful things that George Bush accused John McCain of, fathering an African-American child, saying that in South Carolina, I can tell you from the South, that isn't a very popular thing for a white man to do, be accused of in a political campaign. These are tough times. There's no doubt in the campaign. And both of these candidates view this as an opportunity to win a presidential race.
I just mean I think that the supporters are different, Pat.
David, I think that Carville not only speaks for himself, he's the quintessential loyalist. I think he speaks the heart of Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton about what Richardson did. I think they are extraordinarily bitter. And I think they're going to go to the wall for this, not only because their dreams are involved, but because the nomination this year looks like it does mean the presidency, and they're not going to let go. And I think they're very personally bitter about Obama and what they've done.
I don't know that that's huge news, though. I don't know that threatening to call biblical names out at superdelegates who strayed was going to help them either. The big difference here between the Democratic and Republican histories on this is that Republicans have a history of getting in line behind the nominee, even when they have done horrible things like Bush did in 2000.
Well,
Democrats don't have that same tradition.
All right, let me get to the next caller.
1964.
I want to get to the next caller, Tanya from Florida, because she has changed her mind about Hillary Clinton and has a question for Pat. Another woman with a question for Pat. Listen.
At one time, I was going to vote for Hillary Clinton, but with her dirty politics, it has totally changed me. You can tell that she's more concerned about winning the race than keeping the Democratic Party unified. And I also wonder, why is Pat Buchanan so afraid of Barack Obama? Because he keeps mentioning him a lot. Do they believe that Hillary Clinton will be an easy person to beat?
Quick answer, Pat.
No, I don't. I think Hillary, if she can get Obama on the ticket, would be the strongest ticket. I think Clinton-Obama would be it. I think Obama now is, because he is on the left, I think he would be easier for the Republicans to beat. But I think McCain's going to have a tough time winning this thing.
All right, if you weren't heard from today, try again tomorrow. Play with our panel every weeknight right here on MSNBC. The email, race08@msnbc.com. You can call us too, 212-790-2299.